And at forward, 6 feet, 8 inches, from Georgia, number 21, Dominique Wilkins. On the injured list is Kevin Willis. Not dressed this evening is Dudley Bradley. The Hawks trainer is Joe O'Toole. Assistant coaches Brian Hill and Cassie Russell. And the head coach for the Atlanta Hawks, Michael Fratello.
Well, you saw that statistic that the Hawks have won 7 of the last 10, but they've dropped their last 2 on the road at Denver and Phoenix with Dominique Wilkins out of the lineup because of that bruised thumb. Earlier, John asked Dominique the status of the injury.
Well, I think I'm pretty ready. I don't think I'll be able to do the dunking part of it, but, you know, I think I'm pretty well enough to go out here and play. And I worked out yesterday in practice, and it felt pretty good.
Was your shot on?
It's a little off right now. You know, it depends on how the ball hits my hand. If it hits that certain spot on my hand, it hurts.
And there is Dominique, averaging 26 per game. That is down from last season, where he averaged 30.7, second in scoring to Michael Jordan. The reason for that, a couple of more scorers have been added to this roster. Moses Malone, Reggie Theus, John Koncak in the starting lineup. He's been bothered by the flu recently. Cliff Livingston is not here because of the flu. Dudley Bradley has missed the last 8 games because of a sore left foot. And, of course, Kevin Willis has been out throughout with that cracked bone in his left foot. There are the officials. Hank Armstrong, a rookie NBA official by way of the ACC and the ECAC. It is Atlanta ball as we get underway. Knicks trying to steal the tap. And the Knicks without Kenny Walker this evening. A sad note. Kenny's father, Jerome, died earlier today after suffering a stroke several months back. So Kenny went back home to Roberta, Georgia. And here is Dominique. Rebounded by Ewing. Ewing coming off an outstanding game last night. A strong finish against the Washington Bullets. 26 points, 10 rebounds. And Oakley, who was spectacular last night, able to hit to open things up.
He had Doc Rivers in front of him. Therefore, he knew he couldn't be bothered visually. Marv, at this juncture, when you look at the Hawks, they are a limping team right now. They are hurting with all of these injuries and flu absences that you mentioned. They will have to have a spectacular effort. Even though they've only lost 3 out of 21 here at home, they have to have an excellent game. And the Knicks know that, so it will be interesting how quickly the Knicks can pounce on the Hawks.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Rivers from deep. Koncak keeping it alive, but rejected by Ewing. Jackson putting the move on Rivers, who was able to knock the dribble away, but here's Tucker. Nice recovery by Jackson, who's able to rebound. Oakley keeping it alive, comes to Tucker, and the Knicks take a 4-0 lead.
Knicks are quick to the boards early, defensively and offensively, and I think Ewing is playing with an extra effort somehow. Last night he was dynamite in the second half. Might relate to the All-Star game, who knows?
Basket counts, and the foul on a reach-in.
That's one that is so characteristic of Moses Malone. It appears that he punished the defender, in this case Ewing. We'll take another look at it. Banging into the defender, and they get Ewing on a foul. And the call was made by the #1 official in the NBA, Darryl Garrettson, I believe, so he knows what he's doing.
You believe he's the #1 official, or you believe he made the call?
Well, I think he's, I know he's the #1 official, and I believe he made the call.
4-3, the Knicks with the lead. Johnny Newman saw limited action last night because of an upset stomach, and he has drawn the defensive assignment against Dominique Wilkins. Loose ball foul called on Charles Oakley, so it will be Atlanta ball.
The second team foul.
The Hawks come in at 28-17. They are, despite that excellent record, only 4th in the difficult Central Division. They're 6 games behind first place Cleveland. Newman off the steal, racing with Rivers. Newman with the step and the bucket, and the Knicks lead it 6-3.
Johnny Newman anxious to make up for his light appearance last night because of that stomach virus.
Bad pass picked off by Tucker. Mike Fratello not pleased with the sloppy start by the Hawks. Jackson from 3 and rebounded by Newman. Newman thought he was pushed.
What a spectacular effort by Newman.
Theus for Wilkins. And Dominique did well to get that ball high over the outstretched hand of Patrick Ewing. We are just underway in Atlanta. Trent Tucker getting the roll. Trent had an excellent game at the Garden against the Hawks. 21 points, hitting 4 out of 4 from downtown. Dominique with the spin, but stopped. Jackson putting between the legs and called for the charge.
Well, he held it a little too long. Mark Jackson sensing an advantage of 3-on-2. He just went another step too far. That last play, Marv, by Trent Tucker, the long shot that he hit, set up so nicely by a pick by Charles Oakley, which delayed Reggie Theus, who gave it a great effort, but that pick delayed him, and it gave Trent Tucker a chance at good view of the basket.
Doc Rivers drills it home. Knicks by 1, 8-7. John Battle has come on, replacing Reggie Theus. Early departure, only 3 minutes gone by. Theus back to the bench. Johnny Newman with his second field goal.
Unbelievably easy basket for Johnny Newman as he got positioned down low and the defense was behind him. That will infuriate Mike Fratello.
And it will be Nick Ball. And there is a discrepancy. The scoreboard showing the Knicks in front 11-7. We had it as 10-7. And let's see. They're resetting the 24-second clock. This is the first night this overhead scoreboard has been used, and apparently they had a little problem because it is 10-7, John, not 11-7. Knicks were not going to complain about it.
That's not a home clock, is it?
Yes. Oakley, played by Koncak, shoots over him. So Oakley is opened up by hitting 2 from the outside, and the Knicks with a 12-7 lead.
Oakley off to 8 for 13 from the field last night, has hot hands.
Battle around Jackson, but Ewing there again for his second rejection. Kept alive. Malone is stopped. Knicks have a 3, 4-on-2. Oh, what a pass from Jackson, and the foul is called. Newman to the line.
And oh, what a defensive effort and presence Patrick Ewing has established here in opening moments of this game. And it's enabling the Knicks to get out quickly on their break. John Battle ignored Koncak on the left. Ewing came over and made him think twice about that. Newman pursued that basketball.
Foul committed by Koncak. And Johnny Newman will shoot a pair.
All right, shoot, Joe.
We are early first quarter. Sellout crowd, 10th sellout of the season here at the Omni in Atlanta, 16,371. And as you mentioned a moment ago, the Hawks have been successful at home, 18-3. In Atlanta on the road, 10-14. And they come off a road trip that saw them win 3 and lose 3.
Not too bad when you go out west. That's where those games were. In fact, they beat Utah by a point.
Penetration by Rivers for his second field goal. The Knicks 14 and the Hawks 9.
I was impressed in their win against Utah. They held Karl Malone to 20 points and John Stockton to only 10 and 6 assists. The Atlanta Hawks are a sound team on both ends of the court.
Newman for Ewing. And Ewing allowed to hang because he was bracing himself, preventing the fall. People always ask why not a technical foul.
Knicks claiming there was an illegal defense being played. Official Bob Delaney, take another look at that. Was very kind in his response, and Ewing at the right spot at the right time.
The Knicks 16 and the Hawks 9. 5 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Knicks have hit 7 of their first 12 from the field. Wilkins had to change the shot, and Ewing a major presence here at the start. Ewing with a jumper. Looked like a guard moving down court.
A couple of dribbles preceding that jump shot you don't usually see with Patrick facing the hoop.
Rivers, nice move. Doc Rivers with 6 points. Knicks 16. And the Hawks 11. Rick Pitino wants a 20-second timeout. New York Knicks 31-16, 5 games in front of the Philadelphia 76ers. They have won 4 in a row. The road record 11-15. Their most road victories since back in the 83-84 season when they won 18-23. Now they've changed to the full timeout, so we will take advantage. And the Knicks overall with 4 blocks over the first 5 minutes. The Knicks with a 16-11 lead. They have shot very well here in the early going. 6.5 remaining. First quarter. Oakley. Charles hit a couple from outside. That attempt from deep. Theus, who just checked back in, connecting on his first field goal.
Hawks would like to see a duplication of the last Knicks visit here in the scoring department. 3 Hawks had 30 or better. Theus one of them.
Ewing setting the pick. Jackson giving it back. Beautiful play. Tucker went down off the collision on a follow through, but he is all right.
On the basket, the Knicks going to their full court pressure. 3 men around Mark Jackson, and he knew it.
That is a most unusual and well done pick and roll, because the pass from Jackson had to be wide as Ewing cut far to the right baseline. And the Knicks now lead at 18-13. Wilkins. So Dominique with his second field goal. As he told you earlier, he may have problems with the outside shot. From the point of view of Mike Fratello, he might not mind that, because some of the shot selection by Wilkins have not been too good, and they'd rather have him working inside. Atlanta will take over.
I'm sure he would have slammed that last move, but instead he cradled it and shot it softly off the backboard. Now the Knicks at the other end can't control that basketball. Mark Jackson, with great frustration, could not get it back in bounds.
Gerald Wilkins has come on, replacing Trent Tucker. 4 points for Trent, 2 field goals. Gerald attended Southwest High School here in Atlanta. He is from Roswell, Georgia. Make that Roswell, Georgia. We get immediate feedback on that one. Blue ball, says the official, Hank Armstrong. So the Knicks take over. Jackson and Wilkins in the backcourt. Oakley with Newman and Ewing. Sidney Green is getting set to come on. Oakley behind the back for Ewing. Now last night Oakley had 4 assists. Ewing had 5, and a beautiful pass to set up Ewing.
Oakley's doing it more and more, and going behind the back, that is, and that was special.
Wilkins will go to the line, fouled by Newman. Here's Green for Oakley. Charles Oakley leads with 2 baskets for 4.
You like Oakley, the way he runs off the court. Coaches love that. Look at that soft delivery to Ewing, who executes a beautiful spinning move to avoid the defense.
21, Dominique Wilkins to the line.
Dominique Wilkins, 84% free throw shooter. As mentioned earlier, has not killed the Knicks over the first 2 games. Last year averaged 38 a game against the Knicks, had a 45-point game. Had a career-high 17 rebound performance against the Knicks.
Well, better for the Hawks that he doesn't average 38. He's too dominating when he does that, and the rest of the team is quiet offensively.
Here is Gerald Wilkins. And the foul is called from behind, said the outside official. And it's on Theus for Reggie, his first. And Gerald Wilkins will go to the line. What a stretch it's been for Gerald Wilkins since he's been coming off the bench with Trent Tucker, the starter, last 8 games, averaging 17 points, shooting just under 60%.
Very important aspect of that, Marv, is a player's attitude, whether it be grammar school, high school, college, or professional. Many players would interpret that as a demotion, losing the starting situation. Most notably his brother, who clearly said he wants to start, doesn't want to come off the bench. But Gerald took this in a positive way and has made it even more positive. He is now a key weapon for the Knicks off the bench.
Rod Strickland has come on, replacing Mark Jackson. Dominique Wilkins quoted today as saying, even though brother Gerald said he would prefer coming off the bench in this situation. Here's Battle forcing and hitting. 22-18, Knicks by 4. Dominique said Gerald was not telling the truth, that he'd rather start. Nothing like a brother to clear things up.
Well, that was his interpretation anyway.
Strickland with a pretty move. And the Knicks now lead at 24-18. Knicks go to the trap. We saw quite a bit of the press last night, not much thus far tonight. There was an attempt by Wilkins, and he's able to follow it. So the Hawks keep it alive, and Reggie Theus gets credit for the tip. Knicks by 4, 24-20. Illegal defense called on Atlanta. That is their warning.
Illegal defense has been called.
Doc Rivers way down below the foul line, and his man was out high. You cannot cluster people in that paint area to clog the middle for the offense. You've got to guard your man.
Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from Atlanta, Gerald Wilkins, rebound Moses, and here comes Theus.
Boy, Moses has been quiet.
Foul on the Knicks. It's on Newman. That is his second. And the Knicks with their 4th team foul. Moses Malone sitting down. 3 points from Malone. Koncak is back. Here's Pete Myers, who played briefly but played well last night, and we may be seeing quite a bit of Myers, what with Kenny Walker not with the club due to the death of his father. Koncak got the step, and Ewing called for the foul. For Ewing, his second.
Koncak, a 7-footer, big man with room, can create problems. And Ewing challenging everything going up. Committed for him a very light foul as he's questioning Darryl Garrettson on that call. Nevertheless, there was some contact, and the Knicks will miss him. Whenever he's not on the floor, it's a minus situation.
John Koncak, who has been bothered recently by the flu. So Koncak has the crowd buzzing. Not a good free throw shooter, 63%. 3.5 to go in this first quarter. Knicks by 4, 24-20. Knicks have led by as many as 7. Rivers off the steal. And the pass saved by Battle, but he's out of bounds. So the Knicks get it back.
Sidney Green has to be more careful out high, as he was when he puts the ball on the floor. He's in the territory of the guards, the quick people. And what happened when he put that ball down, it was gone.
Eddie Wilkins replacing Patrick Ewing, so he's up front with Green and Myers. Here's Pete Myers. And tipped home by Sidney Green.
Boy, did the Hawks miss Cliff Livingston flying through the air.
And Livingston's such a quick leaper who over the years has bothered the Knicks, sitting it out because of a bout of the flu. Knicks go to the trap. Here's Rivers. And Green on the rebound. Myers clobbered by Rivers. And Pete Myers, who has been an excellent free throw shooter, will go to the line. He's 15 for 16 from the line. But first, a timeout call. 2:41 remaining in this first quarter. To the foul line, 2 shots for Myers in his 3rd season out of Arkansas Little Rock. Originally a 6th-round pick of the Chicago Bulls back in '86, signed as a free agent by the Knicks after he spent time with the Bulls, San Antonio, Philadelphia. Well, I mentioned that he was 15 for 16 from the line as a Knick, but Myers missing on both. 2.5 remaining, first quarter. Knicks go to the trap. Here's Battle. And the Knicks by 4, 26-22.
Battle, a highly capable performer, has become more and more valuable to the Hawks.
Swing.
Strickland. Myers able to keep it alive. Strickland stopped with the shot clock running down.
As quick as Rod Strickland is, when he dribbles into 7-footers, it's very difficult because he doesn't have the advantage that he normally has when he's coming at them from outside. He can avoid them. But when he goes straight at them, boy, that's a low percentage situation. So he was 0 for 2 in the last 2 sequences by him.
Foul committed by Green. Knicks over the limit. And Glenn Doc Rivers, one of the NBA's best free throw shooters, 89%, has his 7th point. Rivers slowed at the start of the season by a sprained left ankle, missed 5 games, also not able to shake a virus. Rivers bringing the Hawks within 2, 26-24, just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. The steal by Rivers.
That's what happens when you dribble too much.
The game is tied at 26. Eddie Wilkins lost it. The Hawks, very aggressive, come up with their 2nd consecutive steal. Dominique putting the moves on Green, who was able to hang in, but Wilkins going glass has given the Hawks a 2-point lead.
Oh, Green played him perfectly. Couldn't have done a better job, but Dominique's one of the great offensive machines, and he figured a way out.
Hawks lead for the first time tonight as we come up to 1 minute left in this first quarter. Green posting. Rebound, contact. Good spurt here by Atlanta. Wilkins. Dominique off to the slow start, 2 for 8, but he has come on. He now has 9 points.
It's a rare down spell for the Knicks' 2nd unit.
And Green able to hit off the turn. 30-28. Knicks down by 2 with 35 seconds to go, first quarter. Theus calling out a play. The Hawks on a 10-2 run to take this 2-point lead. Theus goes the middle. Basket counts, and the foul.
One of the reasons Theus is so dangerous is that he's 6'7". He's down low when he handles that ball, but when he comes up to extend, he's above most people. A great advantage, big guards who can handle the ball.
Gerald Wilkins called on the foul. 3-point play for Theus. And the Hawks by 5, 33-28, 20 seconds left in this opening quarter. And the Knicks will hold for a final shot. Strickland watched by Battle. The clock being worked down, 5 seconds. Strickland fires. The tip missed. Here's Myers. And the call by Garrettson is too late. Will not count. After 1, the Hawks turning it late in the first and lead by the count of 33. As we get underway, second quarter, Ewing working against contact. Nice return to Myers. So the Knicks trail by 3, 33-30.
Teams have to think twice now when they double team Patrick Ewing. Other people have to help and rotate around and get that cutter.
Good hands by first Jackson and then Wilkins. Here's Antoine Carr seeing his first action of the night. The burly Antoine Carr in his 5th season out of Wichita State. Theus dishing it off. Rivers. He's had the hot hand. 12 points for Doc Rivers. He's the high man. Ewing drawing the foul. Pushed by Theus. Commits his second. And here's Moses Malone returning.
Well, the Knicks going to their meal ticket now, back in the game. No double team, but Ewing dribbles into some pressure there, and Theus gets him from behind. Totally unintentional foul.
Moses quiet to this point. Field goal to foul shot for 3. Ewing a 76% free throw shooter on the line for the first time. And both clubs having problems at the line. Knicks now 4 for 7. Hawks 5 for 8. And here is Spud Webb replacing Reggie Theus. 7 points for Theus.
What a compliment to the Hawks in that they're where they are with Malone off to such a quiet start.
Hawks staying with the 3-guard setup. Rivers, Webb, Battle, along with Malone and Carr. Knicks down by 4, 35-31. They've led by as many as 7. That 14-2 run at the end of the first quarter turned it for the Hawks. Now it will be Nick Ball with Battle losing it.
Quick hands of Pete Myers, who got some good playing time here. Now he's leaving for Johnny Newman, but Myers playing at the forward position, got down low and defended the guard, the ball handler, and knocked that ball away and created the turnover.
Nice job by Myers. Newman is back. Rick Pitino wanted Newman to shoot the 3-pointer. Knicks have not been looking for it. That's illegal defense for the second time, so the technical foul.
Well, the Knicks
on the Hawks
are striking right away at Spud Webb, guarding Mark Jackson. Mark going down in the low post. They won't do it all the time, but it can hurt the Hawks.
Johnny Newman will shoot the technical. 82% foul shooter. So the Knicks trail by 3, 35-32. Final game for both the Knicks and the Hawks before the All-Star break. Mark Jackson, Patrick Ewing heading to Houston, take part in the All-Star game. Moses Malone will be on hand for Atlanta as the starting center, backed up by Ewing. And they're going at each other right here.
Dominique expects to play. He might pass up on the slam dunk contest Saturday.
Jackson posting and basically doing whatever he wanted against the 5'7" Spud Webb.
What makes Mark so tough down low is his moves are very quickly executed, which means the defense can't get down to help Spud Webb or whoever the victim might be.
First field goal for Jackson, and the Knicks trail by 1. Here's Carr off a double team, and that pass telegraphed. Gerald Wilkins soaring to give the Knicks a 1-point lead.
I tell you, when he's in Atlanta, of course, he's got to face the competition of perhaps the greatest slam dunker in his brother, so that gave him a chance to show off, and here he goes again.
Gerald with another steal, beating Webb. And drew the foul, and the Knicks taking advantage of Spud Webb. Gerald Wilkins to the foul line. Here's brother Dominique checking back in, and Webb will leave.
Well, the cross-court pass, something that coaches get sick over when they see their team do it, done here in the NBA, and Gerald Wilkins is just too fast to let that happen.
Well, they called it a non-shooting foul. The steal by Rivers. Crowd wanted Malone to shoot. And that was not what he had in mind, but he drew the foul. Foul called on Gerald Wilkins, trying to help out for Gerald, his second. Here comes Charles Oakley getting set to return. Malone to the foul line.
Mark Jackson was spud moments ago. A little help from Sidney Green on the pick. Jackson down low. Post player now. Quickly executed.
Now Oakley comes on for Green. So Mike Fratello giving Spud Webb the quick hook. Game is tied at 36. 2.5 gone by. Second quarter.
Glad to see Spud going back to the slam dunk contest where he thrilled people in Dallas a couple of years ago.
Gerald Wilkins from three. Rebound Ewing. 3-second violation.
Mark Jackson in a rebounding position, caught down there with Ewing and Oakley operating.
Throw some scores at you. Boston leading Indiana 38-24 at the end of one. Detroit 26, Milwaukee 16 after one quarter. And the Sixers lead Seattle 28-27 after one. Antoine Carr getting in and drew the foul.
Hawks having no trouble getting that ball down low on that play. The Knicks just slow to react to the people moving without the ball.
Newman caught on the foul. Tucker checking in, replacing Newman, who collected his third.
Marv, you mentioned the Bucks. I can't help but reflect on the fact that the Bucks right now have a better record than the Knicks, much to my shock today when I was looking at the standings.
Well, you look at the first three teams in the Central. That's a three-pointer from Mark Jackson. He hit two last night. He went 1 for 8 in Indiana Saturday, turned it last night. And for the Knicks, their first three-point field goal tonight. They've been off in that department recently. Thus far tonight, the Knicks are 1 for 5 from downtown. John Battle able to get to it.
John Battle with great spring.
Malone was able to hit the hook over Ewing.
A couple of those calls were made on very light touches on Malone, drawing fouls. Now the Knicks are more than careful, as they were on that play, not to challenge him.
Particularly with Ewing picking up his second. Gerald Wilkins catching fire. Wilkins has 6 points. John, getting back to the subject of the Bucks, they're 30-14, yet they're in third in the Central. They're 3.5 behind Cleveland. Good follow by Malone. Cleveland on top, 34-11. Detroit 30-13. Hawks by 1, 42-41. 4.5 gone by in the second. Jackson, again a three-point attempt. Carr, Ewing let him go. Did not want to pick up his third. And the Hawks lead 44-41. Knicks want a timeout. And now they'll use the 22nd timeout taken by Knicks coach Rick Pitino.
Well, tonight's contestant in Amtrak's three-point field goal contest, James Lovett, felt that Trent Tucker would score the Knicks' first three-pointer of the game, and that's logical, Marv.
Yes.
Unfortunately for James, Mark Jackson scored the first three-pointer for the Knicks, and James will receive 2 tickets to an upcoming Knicks home game, courtesy of Amtrak.
Well, they have changed once again from the 20 to a full timeout, so we'll take a break. The Hawks lead the Knicks 44-41. Sidney Green has come on, replacing Patrick Ewing. 7 points, 3 blocks for Ewing. Gerald Wilkins. And the tip home by Oakley off a beautiful box out in front of Carr.
Boy, he was banged hard, too, and he just avoided all that contact and got the job done.
6 points for Oakley, and the Knicks down by 1, 44-43. Sidney Green now operating at center against Malone. Dominique Wilkins using his extension. He now has 11, and the Hawks have a 3-point lead.
Dominique matched with his brother now.
Dominique making it back off that sprained thumb. Missed the last 2 games. 8 on the shot clock. Stutter step by Gerald around his brother, and he's rejected. Here's Battle. And Malone able to finish it off. 10 points for Moses.
Nobody got in Malone's way.
Gerald Wilkins stopped again by Carr. Gerald remaining to argue with Darryl Garrettson as the Hawks get it down in a hurry. Rivers.
Boy, without Ewing, Marv, the Knicks are soft inside. Wow.
Another run by Atlanta, and this their biggest lead, a margin of 7. Malone on the rebound, hit by Green.
Totally unnecessary foul.
That's 2 on Green. Rod Strickland is back, replacing Mark Jackson, at least with 5 points. And Ewing back on the court. Rick Pitino asking Sidney Green as he leaves, why that foul?
Well, that began that defensive play by Carr, slapping down Gerald Wilkins, the beginning of 2 hoops for the Hawks.
Five and a half left, first half. Malone one-on-one with Ewing. Tucker over to help. Here's Dominique. And it will be Atlanta ball.
Well, the shots go up differently with Ewing back in there.
Mike Fratello in his 6th season as coach of the Atlanta Hawks. Both he and Rick Pitino, one-time assistants under Hubie Brown.
Knicks know exactly what the Hawks were going to do. Stu Jackson, the assistant coach, yelling out, Theus is the man.
And he certainly was. 9 points for Theus. Gerald Wilkins getting down and doing it with the reverse.
There's something special in his legs here in Atlanta.
8 points for Gerald Wilkins. 52-45. The Hawks with a 7-point lead with just under 5 minutes to go, first half.
I think Oakley should get 2 assists for that pass, how he read Wilkins.
Malone drew the contact, and as he did, basket will not count. He was called for a traveling violation.
Quick 2-step by Moses. Very athletic move by such a big guy.
Moses looking much more active than we saw earlier this season. He's coming off 2 sensational games, 20 rebounds in both. Oakley again from deep. And it's kicked out by Ewing.
Trent Tucker missed Gerald Wilkins down low, who had cut to position. Gerald had great position down low.
Theus and Battle in the backcourt. Malone up front with Wilkins and Carr. Carr posting Oakley. Dominique Wilkins. So Dominique, with that quickness, able to get inside for 13 points after a slow start. And the Hawks in the midst of another run. They've outscored the Knicks 14-4 the last couple of minutes. Ewing with a nice pass, making it look very easy, and the Hawks upset.
Yes, they didn't react defensively to each other. There was a pick set. No one helped out.
Atlanta by 7. 54-47. Ewing helping out on Theus. Where's Malone? Well, he's being guarded by Oakley. Battle. Well, with Ewing outside, the Hawks able to do it on the penetration. 9-point Atlanta lead. 3.5 remaining, first half. Oakley from Ewing, yes, and it counts. Terrific pass again from Patrick Ewing.
Oakley's cutting, of course, is so precise now. Ewing moving down low, and at the right time, he gets the ball and makes a difficult shot look easy. Now,
wait a moment. They say no basket. Apparently the basket did not count, the foul on Theus, but they called it before the shot attempt. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in this first half. Wild shot by Oakley. Malone. Moses able to elude Strickland. And Atlanta with his biggest lead. They lead by 11. Gerald Wilkins, who is putting on a show. He now has 10, and he has demonstrated his entire repertoire.
Yes, Dominique, the big brother, quiet tonight with that right hand encased in bandage and tape. So he's putting on the dunk show.
Wilkins off the turnover, gets it to Tucker. Knicks go with a three-guard offense. The foul committed by Carr. Antoine Carr picks up his first.
14 foul.
And a timeout is called. We'll be right back. It's up as the color commentator for John Sterling with the Atlanta Hawks. Too bad Walt's not a happy guy, you know.
Relax, Clyde.
2:20 remaining in this first half, and the Hawks lead the Knicks 58-49. Ewing's pass broken up, but Tucker able to recapture. Ewing lost it. Last touch by the Hawks.
Well, it's amazing how Doc Rivers challenges everything. That ball's on the floor. He's at you.
Next with the three guards, Wilkins, Strickland, and Tucker, along with Oakley and Ewing. 2 minutes to go in this first half.
So tough to make the pass into the big man from out high. The percentages increase dramatically in your favor when you deliver it from the low position or the forward position beneath the foul line.
The Knicks have 8 on the shot clock. Gerald Wilkins again. 12 points for Wilkins. Brother Dominique with 13. Knicks to the trap. Strickland nearly picked it off, and he's called for the foul. Coming up at halftime, it'll be Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk. Take a look at all the scores around the NBA, and we'll have some of the halftime highlights. Game of interest, Philadelphia and Seattle, with the Sixers 5 games behind the Knicks. Here's Eddie Wilkins for Patrick Ewing, and then later on, the Houston Rockets playing the Clippers at the Sports Arena in LA. Clippers have lost 19 in a row. If they lose tonight, it will be 20 straight, equaling the longest single season losing streak in league history. Sixers lost 20 in a row back in 72, 73. Malone got the step and blew it.
Koncak's helping out. It's not pretty, but he got the job done.
Wilkins called for a palm. And so the Knicks commit their 10th turnover. Hawks also have 10. And it will be Atlanta ball with 1:22 left in the half. John, the all-time NBA losing streak, 24 games set by the Cleveland Cavaliers right at the end of the 81-82 season and the beginning of 82-83. Battle. So John Battle, 4-year pro from Rutgers, with his 4th bucket. He has 8. And Atlanta leads by 9, 60-51.
Battle, one of those people, when he came out, you would think, well, maybe he'll make it. Boy, has he gone beyond that.
Yeah, he was certainly a question mark. Oakley, foul. He'll go to the line. There's a little pat to Glenn Doc Rivers, who was his sparring partner last time the Knicks were here in Atlanta. They had a disagreement, which apparently was settled because they ended up in a local pub watching the replay of our telecast.
That's right.
And anxiously awaiting for the particular time when their confrontation broke out.
And roared with laughter when they were viewing it. Both good guys, though, Oakley and Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is one of those guys, Marv, when you see him, you know how when you say to a guy, how you doing? You know, to a player, the guy will say, fine or whatever. Rivers is the kind of guy that when he finishes says, "How are you?" Not that many like that.
Well, John, in your case, there may not be that many people interested in finding out how you are. Have you thought of that?
Well, I choose not to.
40 seconds to go in the half. And 8-point Atlanta lead. Pete Myers checking in, replacing Gerald Wilkins. 12 points for Wilkins back here in his home area. It's been a long rest for brother Dominique. Made his return tonight, coming back from the sprained thumb. Wilkins challenging contact. And Darrell Garrison calling a travel. He says that Strickland went up and caught his own shot or his own pass. So it's a traveling violation. And the Hawks get it back with a half-minute left, first half. Contact, trapped and able to elude it. Now to 15 seconds left in the half. Rivers setting it up. Wanted Battle to move away. Here's Dominique Wilkins. 5 seconds. Tucker from 3.
He had time for the pass for the layup. Judgment made by Trent. He had 3 teammates, or 2 anyway, in front of him.
Pete Myers hit the deck and trying to come down with that rebound, and that is it. That's the end of the first half. Atlanta Hawks with a 60-52 lead on the New York Knicks. And we'll be back shortly to run down the scoring statistics, take a look at the highlights of the first half. But coming up, Bob Page and the MSG Sports Desk.
Cliff Livingston tonight. Antoine Carr's playing a little affected by it. Contact, the same thing. They're doing a great job. Early in the game, it looked like the Knicks were going to coast, and they were coasting nicely. They had that 5-6 point pad, but the Hawks have come on with a great effort and exploited some of the Knicks' defensive lapses out there. They've scored a lot underneath.
Game open with Dominique Wilkins, who is making his return tonight. Missed a couple of games on the recent trip because of the sprained thumb. Dominique had some problem shooting. He told you that he might not be able to catch the ball well, and then you explained how he might best be able to do it. I know he was very appreciative of the tip, John, but after he went 2 for 8 for the most part from the outside, he went to the inside game.
And it showed that he knows how to adjust to problems, because he shot the ball quite well, it seemed, and got a lot of support, though, from his teammates. And Moses arrived slowly in this game, but he has arrived, and he's here.
And Dominique's brother Gerald has played well. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this first half. The Hawks with the 8-point lead, and right here you will see Gerald Wilkins do it off the steal.
Yes, the cross pass there by Antoine Carr resulted in this, and Gerald soared to the hoop and loved it.
12 points in the first half for Gerald Wilkins to lead the Knicks. In fact, he is the only Knick in double figures. Now, watch this setup as Oakley goes behind the back.
Nice soft delivery to Patrick Ewing, and Patrick with a good spin as Doc Rivers challenges everybody, but Ewing got around him.
And Doc Rivers with a very strong first half defensively and offensively. The steal by Rivers.
Well, he saw Gerald Wilkins going into a dribbling sequence and got him from behind. Gerald didn't know what hit him.
Rivers high point man with 14.
And Moses Malone working his way down the middle. Moses will not give that ball up if he feels he can complete the play, and he does.
Watch this outlet play now. Gerald Wilkins puts the move on.
Nice hesitation dribble on that move after the fine outlet by Charles Oakley. What else is new?
And we'll run down the individual scoring totals when we come back. The Hawks 60, the Knicks 52 as we prepare. On the road, 11 up and 15 down. Last night, by beating the Bullets, they made it 17 straight at home and a Madison Square Garden record of 20-1. To check out recent streaks both ways, positive and negative.
All these games are important for teams fighting for conference advantage when playoff time comes around. You've got to have the best record to get the home court advantage.
Underway, third quarter. Deflected?
I think it was deflected, yes. might have actually turned out to be a pass that was deflected because he didn't put that big oomph into it.
The official had indicated the three-point attempt. Malone up front with Dominique Wilkins. John Koncak. Koncak with some room. He has the good outside touch. That's his first field goal. And the Atlanta Hawks now with a 10-point lead, 62-52. Jackson calling out a play.
Ewing shaking his arm, wants that ball.
Out of 4 on the shot clock. Ewing fouled by Koncak. And that is 3 on John Koncak,
who has emerged here as a factor, as we mentioned, 7 rebounds in the first half.
It is called a non-shooting foul. Newman was stopped by Koncak and tried to give it up.
Rivers anticipated so well.
Rivers on the move. Oakley. Knicks not getting good shots. Tucker off the steal. Ewing feeding Oakley, could not handle it. And Theus starts back. Malone foul. So Moses to the line as he was handcuffed by Trent Tucker.
Ewing comes up limping from that last sequence. He threw that very strong shovel pass to Charles Oakley, and both Ewing and Oakley went down along with Koncak, 3 big people down.
Patrick Ewing playing with 2 fouls. Johnny Newman has 3. For the Hawks, 3 apiece on Reggie Theus. John Koncak, Moses Malone, who is headed to his 12th All-Star game appearance. Signed with the Hawks as a free agent, coming to terms on a 3-year contract. And the Hawks extend to a 12-point lead, 64-52. It's their biggest lead of the night. Ewing took a shot
in the eye. I mean, he went down fast in great pain, pounding the floor.
Trainer Mike Saunders racing over. Antoine Carr checking back in now. We'll have to get another look at this one. 22nd timeout has been called. All right, here it is.
Ewing receiving that pass now inside from Tucker. Patrick going into the move. Rivers comes over again, challenging as he does. And Ewing took a shot in the eye, it appears. God, Rivers is some troublemaker, and I say that in a positive sense, although this certainly is not a positive result. But he is just after everyone's man when that ball goes around the perimeter or inside.
Well, that was accidental as Rivers was trying to swipe the ball away, and he caught Ewing. I recall the first meeting of the season between these 2 teams here in Atlanta back in December. Hawks won it by 2, and that's the game that saw Ewing go down early, twisting his knee, was able to return, but played only 28 minutes, and that certainly provided a scare for the Knicks. The Rivers over to check out the status of Patrick Ewing, who appears to be all right. Patrick looking on the dizzy side, being apparently Trent Tucker had to hold him up so he would not topple over. And Nick Trainers, Mike Saunders, and Tim Walsh will guide him to the locker room. He took it in the right eye, It looked like he was all right as he was getting up, but they'll take him back to the Knicks dressing room. And we'll pass on a report as soon as we get it. Eddie Wilkins has come on for Patrick Ewing. 2 minutes have gone by in this third quarter, and the Knicks are down by 12. Tucker, yes.
Well, Carr was happy when Tucker dribbled away from him.
One down.
Tucker had something else up his sleeve, so to speak. I remember, Marv, when Ewing went down in that last game down here, Eddie Wilkins came out and gave the Knicks a big lift. And that's all they can hope for now.
Reggie Theus with the open shot. He has 11. And the Hawks again by 12. Wilkins guarded by Carr. And again, it's Rivers coming over, but this time a foul called. Rivers trying to help out on the double team. It was the man behind Eddie Wilkins, Antoine Carr, called on the foul.
Rivers is super aggressive. Well, you can see in scouting reports, one of the features is that this guy, Doc Rivers, will come in and challenge you if you're a big man every time. So you've got to protect that ball and be on the alert for him. Also knowing that when he's coming after you, someone else is open.
Eddie Lee Wilkins only a 55% free throw shooter, but connects on both. 66-56. A 10-point Atlanta lead. Theus setting it up against Tucker. Theus lost it. Oakley played by Malone with Carr on Wilkins. And the reach-in called on Malone. That is only his first foul. It is a non-shooting foul.
For your amusement, I'll serve up that Moses Malone has not fouled out of a game since January 6th, 1978.
Wow. And Oakley able to hit. So Oakley has 11.
5 down.
And the Knicks now down by 8. Stu Jackson calling out what he feels the Atlanta play will be. Call it a pick and roll, but Dominique off the spin was hit by Newman. Knicks were anticipating the pick and roll. Newman collecting his 4th foul, and Dominique Wilkins will go to the line.
Well, the Knicks with Ewing now in the locker room, hopefully getting better, are in a very flat situation. Everybody's got to lift it up a notch. Not only do they have to try and hold off the Hawks, they've got to try and catch them right now.
Johnny Newman sitting down, and Gerald Wilkins, who had an exciting first half, back in. So the Knicks go with the 3 guards: Jackson, Tucker, and Wilkins. 10-point Hawk lead. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Jackson. Mark has been very quiet. Has only 5 points. He's 2 for 7 from the field. Battle and Theus in the backcourt. Malone up front with Wilkins and Carr. Tucker closing the baseline on Theus. Malone. And Gerald Wilkins to the board.
Moses does not look for the cutters like Patrick Ewing.
Tucker from 3. Here comes Dominique Wilkins. Reggie Theus. Well, the Hawks off now. Let's see if the Knicks can take advantage. Jackson handled that pass well. Eddie Wilkins on the recovery.
The reward for running the court.
So it's cut down to an 8-point Hawk lead, 68-60. instructions from the bench to Trent Tucker to help out on Moses Malone. Oakley came over, though, and Malone was stopped. Good play.
Knicks had that diagnosed again. Stu Jackson, the assistant coach, who has obviously spent time studying the Hawks, yelling his instructions out.
Knicks just cannot hit from three-point range. Loose ball foul on Jackson. That is his second. The Knicks are 1 for 10 in the three-point field goal department. Mike Fratello is called for a timeout with 6:53 left in the third.
Nice drive here by Battle, getting around Mark Jackson, and Battle almost makes a beauty, but Oakley soars in, demands that basketball. That's his philosophy. Every rebound he feels belongs to him. And the Knicks pushing that ball up court. Mark Jackson moving it around to his close teammate Charles Oakley with the quick jump shot. Oakley oozing with confidence now.
Charles with 13 points, 6 rebounds, coming off tremendous game last night. 22 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists in the victory over the Bullets. Knicks now to the trap, and Jackson steals. 3-on-1. Battle back, Jackson. Yes, and the Knicks move within 2. 68-66.
The Hawks will see plenty more trapping.
The Knicks have used the trap sparingly, coming off quite a bit of it last night against the Bullets. Malone double teamed, and he lost it. Here comes Tucker, and the ball game is tied at 68.
A positive note on behalf of Malone. He was banged around pretty good on that play. I thought there'd be a foul call. There wasn't. Doesn't complain, doesn't open his mouth up.
Dominique Wilkins putting the move on Charles Oakley, and then fouled by Eddie Wilkins. So the Knicks have made this run after Patrick Ewing went out. More alert, doing it with the trap. Eddie Wilkins has come on, replacing Ewing, who had his right eye scratched.
And Trent Tucker at the end of that good team defensive play. Moses now going to the bench, had some words to somebody advising him along press row. Moses not exactly.
See that. Who was that, John?
Well, I couldn't tell.
Let's check that out.
Susan Walton? No.
WFAN radio, right. Yeah, Susan's the type of reporter who really gets on the players. The Knicks with a 16-4 run. Eddie Wilkins, and tipped home, but will not count. Offensive interference. Was Sam Goldapper of the Times in the area?
I'm surprised that Oakley up so high now. He's a great position player, but his timing was such that he was way over that rim, jamming that down.
Game tied at 68. 4:10 left, third quarter. Koncak finding Dominique Wilkins, and he's fouled by Mark Jackson for Mark his second.
Mark out of his way to tell Dominique it wasn't personal.
In the third quarter, the Seattle Supersonics lead the Philadelphia 76ers 62-61. Boston 71, Indiana 60. They are early third. And Detroit over Milwaukee 50-37 at halftime. And Dominique, after missing his last two, able to hit. He's only 4 for 7 from the foul line. He comes in averaging 26 per game. And the Atlanta Hawks lead by 2, 70-68. Eddie Wilkins saving that errant pass and then lost it. Theus through the foul. It's called on Tucker, his second.
Rick Pitino yelling at his team, pass the ball. Soft pass inside didn't work out to Wilkins. It was very difficult for him to handle that. He was under a lot of pressure.
Knicks over the foul limit. 12 points for Theus. Reggie Theus, acquired from Sacramento for Randy Whitman and a first-round draft pick in his 11th season of the NBA.
Reggie averaging 17 a game.
Knicks down by 4, 72-68. Oakley set the pick, but the Hawks played it well. 6 on the 24. Gerald Wilkins. And Koncak and Oakley involved in the collision. Foul on Tucker. So that's 3 on Trent. And the Knicks now suffering because they are over the limit. Once again, the Hawks to the line. Koncak will go to the line. He is not a good foul shooter. Missed his first 2. Talking earlier about Koncak doing the job off the boards. He comes up with so many deflections because he has unusually long arms, even for a 7-footer.
Rick Pitino asking Gerald Wilkins to be a little more careful, I believe, in his shooting. If you don't have that shot, reverse the ball around. That was a rush shot by Gerald last time down.
Koncak now 0 for 4 from the foul line. John, do you think he can do better blindfolded?
I was wondering.
John Koncak?
Absolutely.
Here's Battle, broken up by Tucker. Good hustle. Some of you with a perverse sense of humor may recall that John did make that statement, or prodded on by Greg Gumbel and myself, that he could handle the situation better at the line blindfolded than Chris Dudley of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is shooting around 36%. And we will put John to that test within the next week or so. Good recovery by Rivers, and Dominique Wilkins keeps it alive. Facing his brother, who bats it away. Gerald making that steal possible. 3-on-1. Jackson goes all the way.
Oh, Mark Jackson with a 3-on-1.
Jackson gets it back. This time delivers. So Oakley cuts it down to a 2-point Atlanta lead.
Sometimes when you hold the ball too long, you have to take the shot because the defense doesn't come out to you. Ended up with Mark getting a very low percentage shot, but it worked out well with good pursuit.
2:20 left, third quarter, and this game is picking up. Koncak from deep. Three-point attempt. Here comes Theus. 2-on-1. Dominique Wilkins with a brick off glass, and it will be Nick Ball. Jackson played it perfectly.
Oh, he did, and he loves it. Big, big play for the Knicks.
Timeout is called. Minute 51 remaining in the third. Schoolyard basketball, York Larisi, a man you faced on many an occasion.
Well, York Larisi, 1956, St. Anne's High School, coached by Lou Carnesecca. The early days of Lou's coaching career. Went on to North Carolina, where he was an All-American, and into the NBA and the 76ers down here with commercial. He works for Puma out of Massachusetts. Big sporting goods show down here. York looks in good shape.
York looking very well. Looks like a younger Al McGuire.
One of the great jump shooters. Much better jump shooter than Al McGuire was, I'll tell you.
And he will admit that. Eddie Wilkins with a nice move. He's played well since replacing Patrick Ewing. And the game is tied at 72. Theus dishing off. Dominique Wilkins giving the Hawks a 2-point lead. Pete Myers back on the floor for the Knicks. Rod Strickland has come out along with Sidney Green. Rick Pitino resting some players now. Here is Gerald Wilkins way off. And the Hawks on the run. Rivers. Atlanta by 4 with just under 1 minute left in this third quarter.
So the question is, can Patrick Ewing come out in the fourth quarter and play effectively?
It will be Nick Ball. Trent Tucker getting set to check in. The subject of Kenny Walker, a sad note learned earlier. His father, Jerome, died earlier in the day after suffering a stroke several months back. So Kenny went back home to Roberta, Georgia. And Pete Myers has been getting some additional playing time. 25 seconds left, third quarter. Eddie Wilkins, rebounded by Koncak.
Boy, you see how Rivers stays around in double teams.
Dominique Wilkins. And last touch by Battle. No question about it, although the crowd reacts. Dominique Wilkins is now 7 for 19 from the field. We're down to 10 seconds remaining, third quarter. Knicks down by 4. Down to 5. And Strickland able to draw the foul. Rivers committing his second. And Rod Strickland will go to the line with 2 seconds left in the third. Strickland a 75%.
For the Hawks, 4 out of 16.
Atlanta ball as we get underway in the fourth. Battle firing it high and far. And here comes Strickland, who's playing together with Jackson. We've rarely seen that occur. And Mark Jackson connects. For Mark Jackson, a three-pointer. The Knicks with only their second three-point field goal of the night. They are 2 for 12. But Jackson has given the Knicks a 1-point lead. Look out, Rivers going right at the Koncak. Inadvertently bad shot, but Dominique able to follow. And kicked out by Ewing. Make it 7 for 21 for Dominique Wilkins, who has made his return tonight. Missed the last 2 games on the road at Denver and Phoenix with a sprained right thumb. Wilkins. Here's Gerald Wilkins with a gorgeous move. Yes, and it counts. The bucket of the night.
He ended up in the first row on the sidelines almost. Great spinning move. Rivers attacked him. Soft touch. By the time this ball goes through the hoop, Gerald is all the way over on the sidelines sitting down.
He ended up at the feet of your friend York Larisi, and York said to Gerald, you know, that was a nice move.
There he is.
Foul committed by Rivers. That's 3 on Rivers. Wilkins 2 for 2 from the line, so he has continued his excellent play off the bench. And the Knicks now lead by 4, 80-76. Enough of York Larisi. Battle not shooting well. And Jackson starts back. Strickland finding Green with a beautiful pass. And Mike Fratello walk at half. Knicks do a nice job on the inbounds. Here's Battle, though, getting him down. Battle. And the Knicks now lead it by the score of 82-78.
Boy, can he motor.
Strickland. Theus deflecting it. It will be Nick Ball.
Charles Oakley is getting a well-deserved rest for quite a few minutes.
Knicks going with the 3-guard alignment. Gerald Wilkins using the pick from Ewing and getting in. Knicks want a goaltend, nothing called.
That's a surprise.
Rick Pitino furious, screaming at Daryl Garrettson out near midcourt. Antoine Carr. And the loose ball foul called on the Knicks. And Rick is still upset. Foul committed by Ewing for Ewing, his third.
Gerald Wilkins with the soft touch. That ball's out of our picture. but it was deflected away, and no goaltending call for the Knicks.
Not shooting foul. Malone. Ewing with the block. Malone thought he was fouled.
Good help by Green right there.
Green finding Ewing. Welcome back, Patrick Ewing. Despite the scratch on the right eye, you can see the eye is closing. The eye, unfortunately, could look much worse tomorrow morning.
Lots of ice will take care of that.
Thank you, Doctor. Theus with a three-pointer. The Hawks not looking for the three-pointers. That's their first. They're 1 for 3 from downtown. The Knicks call for time. 3 minutes in. Fourth quarter, the Knicks lead by 3.
Academics will be our...
Looking for real value in your next car or truck purchase? Visit Ditchman Fleming and Ford, Lincoln Mercury. If you expect courteous attention without the highway pressure you've grown accustomed to, see Flemington Nissan BMW. If you'd like to choose from the area's largest selection of more than 2,000 vehicles, stop into Circle Flemington Buick, GMC Truck, Isuzu. If the highest levels of service and the lowest legitimate price are important to you, come into Flemington Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Subaru. Flemington Car and Truck Country, the family of dealerships that delivers it all, costing you less.
The hobby experts at Hobby and Game have assembled a fantastic selection of remote-controlled vehicles. Experience the thrill of boating, the excitement of racing, the exhilaration of flying, and the high-tech adventure of rocketry. Hobby and Game also has do-it-yourself models, from cars and boats to jets and spaceships, as well as a terrific choice of model trains, games, and finishing supplies. So visit Hobby and Game, your place for fun, on JFK Boulevard in Somerset and in the Chester Mall, Chester.
Freedom is the ultimate human quest. Everyone follows their own road, and nothing gets you through life's journey quite like a Suzuki. At Berger's Motorcycles in Three Bridges, we've got the right Suzuki to put your soul on fire. So let Berger's Motorcycles set your path to freedom ablaze. Visit our store on Route 202 in Three Bridges, and we'll show you what freedom is all about.
Ewing on a defensive situation throws him a nice bounce pass, and Ewing hanging in the air dipsy doodles and dunks that ball. And then the Hawks push that ball up to the other end of the court, where Reggie Theus completes a three-point shot for his 13th one of the season.
5 minutes left in that game, and the Sixers leading Seattle. Patrick Ewing off the bench to hit 2 straight. He now has 11, and the Knicks with an 86-81 lead. 9 minutes remaining of the game. Carr is up front with Dominique Wilkins and Malone. Backcourt of Theus and Rivers. Three on the 24. Theus from 3. There's Dominique Wilkins. 24-second buzzer went off, although the Hawks had gotten the shot off. 3-point Knick lead, 86-83. Tucker has come back, replacing Strickland. So for a short period of time, Rick Pitino went with Jackson and Strickland. Theus off the steal. Here's Malone, and he's fouled by Gerald Wilton. Capacity crowd for the 10th time this season here in Atlanta. 16,371 have turned out. Ewing over Malone. Malone bothered Ewing on that shot. Crowd urging the Hawks on. Jackson over to help. 7 on the 24. And a 3 on the shot clock. And the Knicks on the run. Rivers back. Gerald Wilkins gives it up. And Newman is fouled by Carr. Right now, they have Jackson and Gerald Wilkins out there with Patrick Ewing, Johnny Newman, and Sidney Green. Green picking up on Malone.
Knicks knew a pick and roll was coming. Sidney Green reacted properly.
Newman on a switch, handling Theus. 4 on the shot clock. The Knicks have really risen defensively. The Hawks having difficulty finding shots. Newman from 3. And Jackson able to keep it alive.
Ewing in a mismatch with Rivers.
Illegal defense and a technical foul on the Hawks. Newman will shoot the technical. And they'll get the new 24.
Hawks off since Saturday, now will be challenged tomorrow night. They're in Charlotte.
Wilkins posting and stopped. Here's Dominique. And the Knicks felt he traveled. He blew the layup. And the Knicks now on the run.
Well, that's a sight you won't see often.
Jackson from 3-point range. His 3rd 3-pointer of the game. And the Hawks are now down by 8. They've called for time with 6:20 to go. 4th quarter.
You know, there's just no substitute for a well-polished trade.
Indeed. Roy, how nice to see you.
Oh.
You shouldn't have.
Do sit down.
May I offer you a cup of tea?
Why, thank you, Wendell. Listen, I do love what you...
This fabric would look lovely in my caboose.
I must remember to pick some up.
Finger sandwiches, gentlemen?
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
It's their biggest lead of the game. Again, the Hawks having trouble finding a shot. Down to 6 on the 24. Beautiful bank over the hand of Ewing. So Rivers now with 18. 92-86. The Knicks lead by 6. Charles Oakley getting set to return. Ewing, yes, and the Knicks by 8, 94-86. Ewing has played well since making his return following the eye injury. 13 points for Patrick Ewing.
Knicks are still double teaming Dominique.
The pass broken out. Look! Oh! That was inadvertently tipped in. Antoine Carr will get credit. It looked like a Knick hand put it home.
What a wild play.
Here is Jackson. Yes, so Mark Jackson coming right back. Look out. Ewing again bracing himself. He did that in the first half at the other end.
Takes a lot of strength in your arms to hang in the air like Ewing just did.
Just under 5 minutes left in the game. Good finish here at the Omni in Atlanta. 3rd meeting of the season between these two clubs. They split the first 2. Malone spinning in. And he drew the foul. The Knicks wanted a traveling violation. Here's Oakley back on the floor. Battle returns. Theus will sit down. Foul on Green, his 3rd remaining of the game. Good play by Malone, but he knocked it out of bounds, and Moses will get a rest. Here comes Comcat.
Isn't that an interesting move? Moses, a scoring machine, leaving at this point in the game.
Here is Gerald Wilkins with another beautiful move. He has 19. One of those nights where he has outplayed his brother Dominique with a horrible shooting game. 8 for 24. He has shot poorly throughout the season against the Knicks. 27 for 68, we're told. That's right around 40%. Pretty spin by Carr, and he'll go to the line. He was fouled. So the Knicks with an 8-point lead, 98-90. 4:09 left in the game. Gerald Wilkins called for that foul, his fourth.
Gerald going left and then spinning around to that customary right-hand move of his. One of his many beautiful motion to the basket shots tonight.
So Dominique Wilkins, who has suffered in the second half, finally able to hit. Here's Newman right by Malone.
Big basket. That hurt the Hawks. They were alive. I don't know. That might have done it for them.
Just under 2 minutes remaining fourth quarter. Battle trying to squeeze through. Bad play, and it will be Nick Ball. Battle got himself caught.
So they allowed the quick hoop by the Knicks after scoring, and then the turnover.
A minute 52 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knicks maintaining the 8-point lead, and they have the ball. A strong turnaround by the Knicks in the second half. Excellent defensive play, and that has affected the Hawks shooting, which has been horrendous. Pushing foul, and Ewing will go to the line. He will attempt to create havoc now on the inbounds. Completely screening Rivers. Look at him try to look around Oakley and couldn't find the receiver. And let's see how they call it. It will be Nick Ball. Rivers could not find a teammate, and he threw the bad pass to Malone that went off his leg.
Oakley once again proving how valuable he can be in a multiple situation.
The idea on the inbounds is to block the vision in certain circumstances. And the Knicks playing with the clock a bit now. Minute 20 to go, fourth quarter. Ewing comes out to set the pick. 6 on the shot clock. Nice pass. Oakley stopped Oakley again. So Oakley on the follow. The Knicks capping off a superb performance here tonight. They now lead 109-98 with a minute and 12 remaining. Newman all over Battle. Rebound Ewing. Well, the sellout crowd has slowly emptied. They have headed to the spread. Coming off this one, will spend a splendid all-star break. And caps it off with that move, although he did not hit. Oakley again, yes, and it counts. So Oakley with 21.